watched the first episode of Game of Wool, the new knitting show on Channel 4. I have many thoughts. I've talked about the things that I liked, I've talked about the things that I didn't like, and now I'm going to talk about people's reactions online, which I also mostly don't agree with. Now, to be fair, a bunch of people seem to really like the show and enjoy what's going on, but I have also seen some hot takes that I thought were kind of off, maybe a bit overly negative. Where spoilers, especially for Who Goes Home. So one thing I've seen repeated a lot is people saying that one of the contestants snaps at someone else on the show. I think that's a really unfair reading of that situation. The contestant was stressed, they were polite, they literally said, "I don't have time, sorry." It was blunt. No one would have felt good about that situation. I don't think it's fair to characterize this as someone being unkind. I can see the argument that it doesn't speak well to them, this as being under a lot of time pressure, but also the time pressure is an inherent part of these style of shows. It's what mainly trips people up across all of the crafting shows, is just not planning your time well enough. And, you know, some people finished their Fair Isle tank tops in the time allocated and some people didn't. Another opinion that I've seen a lot is people saying that Fair Isle is too complicated, that they couldn't do Fair Isle. And yeah, Fair Isle is hard. However, your average amateur knitter is not entering a knitting competition. I think showing up to a knitting competition is a bit like showing up to the Great British Sewing Bee having never sewn a zip in. If you can't sew a zip, that's fine, there's no expectation for it. However, if you enter a competition about sewing, you should expect that that will come up. It's a pretty foundational skill. In the same way, I think if you want to enter a knitting competition, you need to sit down and go, okay, what are they going to test me on? Because it's not going to be hard to figure out what that list is. It's going to be colour work, it's going to be lace, it's going to be cables, maybe brioche. They will probably want you to be able to do a sock. They'll probably want you to be able to do a jumper, maybe a couple of different kinds of jumper construction. If you sit and think about it, like what would the challenges be in a knitting competition, the things they're going to use immediately present themselves to you. Okay, apparently I have way too many of these thoughts as well, so we're going to, part 4